Is it possible the ghostwriter dislikes Harry? I know people who know him. I've heard interesting things about him. I know he's, as I have said previously, very into the 12-step program and the whole druggy alky business. It is not the job of a ghostwriter to do anything but put the thoughts of the incompetent who requires a ghostwriter.
Which is very revelatory, as you know, about Meghan and Harry. I got absolutely no help from the palace whatsoever, on the contrary.
I think more people want something in-depth in terms of the review of the Tom Bower book than don't. So some people just wanted one episode, other people want more.
No, I choose people who don't want to be written about, on the whole, whose lives are shrouded in mystery, and they want to hide their secrets, and I just love digging away to find out what they don't want us to know.
I personally think there are times when he should have. You are absolutely right.
Prince Harry thought he could silence the noise, but Lady C turned it up full blast the second whispers surfaced about him considering legal action against Lady Colin Campbell and royal author Tom Bower. Things went from calm to chaos in seconds. What started as gossip became full-blown royal warfare, packed with birth mysteries, secret timelines, and threats that could blow the Sussex image wide open. From viral clips to potential court battles, this is the drama the palace hoped would never resurface. Reports say Harry is fuming. And this isn't just about headlines anymore. Behind closed doors, he's said to be weighing serious legal steps against both Lady Colin Campbell and Tom Bower. Why? Because these two didn't hold back. They called out the strange secrecy surrounding the births of Archie and Lilibet. Straight up, no gentle wording, no dancing around the issue. They pointed right at the inconsistencies. No hospital photos, no clear confirmations, no official birth timelines. That's not typical for royal arrivals.
The book is littered with inconsistencies and anomalies, where Harry is on the one hand raging about people and how terrible they are because they are doing to him exactly what he is doing to someone else, but he's a wonderful person. But they're terrible. When I was pregnant, and Harry says, oh, there was a little discussion before we got married. Well, something's wrong right there. But anyway.
I think it's mixed. I think that...
Not even close. And people picked up on that fast. Sources claim that when Harry heard what was being said publicly, he completely lost his cool behind palace doors. Honestly, who wouldn't? These weren't harmless comments. They struck deep. They questioned his honesty, hinted at hidden details, and challenged the Sussex narrative like never before. According to them, Harry and Meghan didn't just tell their story. They crafted it, carefully shaping every moment to protect their brand and image, especially as the spotlight started fading and the influence began to slip. But here's the real twist. Lady C and Tom Bower aren't backing down, not even a bit. If anything, they look fired up and ready to take this head on. These two are no rookies. They live for royal revelations, and they're claiming to have proof, real proof, with sources, documents, and first-hand accounts that won't vanish just because the pressure's on. Lady C didn't blink for a second. Her message was loud and clear. Go ahead, try me. And if Harry really does go through with legal action, experts say it could turn messy fast because a court battle could bring private details straight into the public eye, even those mysterious birth papers everyone's been quietly talking about. And once that door opens, there's no shutting it again. Making things even more suspicious, Buckingham Palace went completely silent. No denials, no clarifications, just the usual, we don't engage in speculation response.
But once she saw Meghan when she came to London, in 2016, 2018, and she reached out to Victoria to get freebies.
He had to admit that actually those stories had been published by other newspapers, days prior. And that's where they got the information from. Or the fact sometimes the palace released the information themselves and Prince Harry wasn't aware of it. Or the fact that, it was just sources and friends or people close to Prince Harry.
And I must say, it's always beyond Meghan. Meghan doesn't believe in reconciliation. Look at her appalling relationship with her father. She's a hard nut.
All Samantha's questions from her lawyers, whether she lied about Samantha, about Thomas Markle in her notorious interview with Oprah Winfrey. So that's a major breakthrough for Samantha Markle, for Thomas Markle, and for the truth.
But everyone knows how that plays out online. Silence doesn't stop rumors, it supercharges them. Clips from the interviews started spreading like wildfire across social media. Hashtags exploded, and people began revisiting Meghan's old pregnancy footage frame by frame like detectives on a mission. This wasn't harmless chatter anymore. It had turned into a full-blown investigation. If the Sussex story ever ended up dissected in court, it wouldn't just be awkward, it could seriously damage their image and legacy. And the more Harry tries to take control of the narrative, the faster it seems to be slipping away. Then came the shocker. Tom Bower dropped what he called the receipt. He said his team contacted every hospital Meghan was reportedly linked to, and came up empty. No records, no confirmations, nothing solid to back the story. That's not just strange, that's alarming. Lady C didn't hesitate either. She claimed that this gap might point to something far bigger, possibly the use of a surrogate, a rumor that had floated quietly in the background for years. But she pulled it front and center, even pointing to viral clips of Meghan's baby bump, saying it didn't move the way a real pregnancy typically would. According to her, no woman carrying a baby moves like that.
Business. Well, he does it because he needs a profile. That's the only way they can get money, by showing a profile. And for Netflix, everything is built around the future documentary series to promote the Sussexes.
Is married to a professional journalist who was the editress of the Evening Standard.
Fondness for, shall we say, stretching the truth. Could the single case see Harry caught up in his own web of lies? Well, to answer this and much more, I'm delighted to welcome the world's top royal author. He, of course, published Revenge, Meghan, Harry, and the War Between the Windsors, Tom Bower. So, Tom, this feels like a significant development tonight. What's happening?
Well, if I was Meghan, I'd be undoubtedly...
And this time, the internet didn't just roll its eyes, it went wild. Speculation erupted everywhere. Major shows and commentators started discussing it openly. And once that happens, there's no turning back. Royal watchers say this is exactly why Harry's on edge. These aren't small-time rumors anymore. This conversation has gone mainstream. And if people start questioning the authenticity of his children's births, it threatens the entire image he and Meghan spent years carefully building. It could all crumble in an instant. But here's the real twist. Lady C and Tom Bower insist this isn't about chasing attention. They claim their info comes straight from solid sources: palace insiders, internal records, even eyewitness accounts. One of them dropped a cryptic comment referencing an RBC validation, with no explanation or follow-up, but it was serious enough to stop people mid-scroll. And it didn't end with the birth questions. Not even close. Bower went after everything: Harry's security claims, financial worries, and even the way he and Meghan handled their royal departure. According to him, the media wasn't just reporting on their story, it was being used to control it. But now, that control seems to be slipping away fast. So how did Harry react? Pure denial. Lawyers got involved.
I was shocked to hear that. I mean, is that who he is?
Well, I think Harry is a very complicated person because he's not very intelligent and undoubtedly remains damaged by the early death of his mother, Diana. And he very foolishly blames the media for her, in his words, murdered her, which is complete nonsense. But I think he loved the adulation. He loved it when he was being praised, especially when he was a soldier. But then he became criticized. Meghan has got no real income anymore. She's finished.
Right.
The Netflix series is over. There's no great podcast. They don't generate any money. And I don't see where she is going from here. I think she has a major problem.
Why Meghan?
Well, because she posed a challenge to the royal family, and she's a fascinating person. I mean, she's a person who started from nothing and has become a world global star. And that route to the top has never really been properly reported and examined and investigated.
Defamation talk started floating, and that's when Lady C delivered her signature calm but deadly moment. Completely unbothered, she basically said, "Let him sue me," and smiled. That confidence hit hard with viewers who are tired of seeing critics silenced or intimidated. Lady C even warned that if this battle lands in court, Harry might end up revealing much more than he ever intended to. Meanwhile, as his legal team scrambles behind the scenes, one question is echoing online. What is he so afraid might come out? Insiders say this has gone way beyond PR damage control. It's serious now. The stakes are sky high. They claim Prince Harry has never had more to lose because this storm swirling around Lady C and Tom Bower's claims could go far deeper than anyone expected. It's not just gossip anymore. Experts say it could even touch constitutional territory. In the royal world, lineage and legitimacy aren't just symbolic. They determine everything. Titles, inheritance, the entire line of succession depends on it. So if people start seriously questioning Archie and Lilibet's births, it doesn't just put Harry and Meghan's reputation at risk.
Samantha only called herself Markle when Meghan was engaged to Harry, which Samantha says is a total lie. Interestingly, Samantha also says that Meghan's story about having a Ford Explorer where she could only get in through the boot was also untrue. She goes through a whole load of Meghan's lies. So by July, that is what the judge has said, these depositions, this cross-examination of Meghan will take place for the trial to start in October. So Meghan really has a problem because until today, her lawyers have been saying this is so ridiculous, we refuse to even engage with Samantha Markle. They stonewall.
He has more power than the courts and the king. That's what he's trying to do. He's getting the government to undermine the legal system and the institution of the monarchy. It couldn't be simpler. Harry has security when he comes to this country. It's assessed on a case-by-case basis. If he stays in a palace, and he's offered to stay in palace.
It shakes the very foundation of what they've been fighting to protect. And with two veteran authors openly saying they're ready to take their evidence to court, this has moved far beyond tabloid chatter. Bauer didn't hold back either. During his broadcast, he claimed his investigative team quietly checked both Santa Barbara Cottage Hospital and Portland Hospital in London, the two places reportedly linked to Meghan's deliveries. And according to him, nothing. No documentation, no confirmation, no visible trace at all. He said if those births happened there, they must have happened invisibly. That comment sent the internet into meltdown. Fans and critics alike started pulling up old footage, analyzing every movement frame by frame. They pointed out strange belly shifts and
all the stuff that we heard today about Charles lying, about William screaming and shouting, was in the can, was being edited.
I had always looked at it more as, oh, she landed this prince. That's what she was out for. We know that she was hunting for someone of wealth, of notoriety in Great Britain. And she landed, the biggest you could land. But it worked the other way too. He was feeling irrelevant. She comes along. She's a, somewhat well-known person, or at least that was his impression. And she's mixed race. She could elevate his star as well. It worked both ways.
Well, you're absolutely right. I mean, what I discovered was, of course, that she was hunting for a man in England from
folds that didn't seem natural. What once sounded like wild online speculation suddenly didn't seem so far-fetched anymore. Lady C poured gasoline on the blaze, reminding everyone that royal births follow strict traditions, official doctors, hospital photos, detailed public announcements. But with Archie and later Lilibet, none of that happened. According to her, it wasn't a coincidence. It was intentional. Those words struck a major nerve. Many already had doubts, and this gave them new energy, especially because Buckingham Palace once again stayed vague, repeating their usual, "we don't engage in speculation" statement, but offering no firm denial. And for a lot of people watching, that silence said more than any royal press release ever could. Bauer didn't stop. He doubled down, tying the mysterious birth questions to what he called Harry and Meghan's entire playbook. According to him, whenever the couple faces criticism, they lean on claims of racism or security fears to shut the conversation down. He said it's been their shield for years, but now that shield is starting to crack. He pointed to their massive Netflix and book deals as signs of financial strain, suggesting the couple needs the money more than ever. Their once glamorous image, he said, is showing serious cracks, with fewer public allies stepping up to defend them.
But he does go there as far as the fact that they wanted to keep the birth private and all the secrecy around that, and even the fact that
accusation of Oprah Winfrey. Also, I think they're reserving that sort of attack for Meghan's own book, for which we must now look forward in a year's time or something.
I wonder, when you watched Meghan Markle speak out, what went through your mind?
Public service, it's a bright, sharp, hot spotlight, and most people don't understand it, nor should they. The thing that I always keep in mind is that none of this is about us in public service. It's about the people that we serve. I always try to push the light back out and focus it on the folks that we're.
In Bauer's view, that explains why they protect the narrative around their children so fiercely. Any doubt doesn't just bruise their reputation. It threatens the foundation of everything they've built since stepping away from royal life. That perfect family brand, the global humanitarian power couple, it all rests on a story that people are now openly questioning. Lady C took it even further, claiming Meghan married Harry, believing he was vastly wealthier than he actually was. She said Meghan expected a billionaire lifestyle, but instead discovered a man financially tied to the very royal system she later criticized. It was a bold claim, and it hit a nerve with audiences who believe the couple's endless media projects aren't about causes anymore. They're about survival. Now, more and more people are asking the same question. Are Harry and Meghan still pushing their mission or just protecting their income? The mood around them has shifted completely. What started as a PR hiccup is turning into a full-blown crisis. Legal experts warn that if Harry actually takes this to court, he could open doors he spent years trying to lock tight. Because once you're in court, privacy fades fast, and every detail becomes fair game.
To admit that actually those stories had been published by other newspapers, days prior, and that's where they got the information from, or the fact sometimes the palace released information themselves and Prince Harry wasn't aware of it, or the fact that, it was just sources and friends or people close to Prince Harry.
These are words which he has rehearsed and which he's delivering to make a point, to make his own fortune. And of course, the casualty is not only the royal family, but Britain's reputation too. Across the world, it is really quite tragic that he's been allowed and encouraged to make these sort of allegations, which has no evidence. And of course, full of contradictions, dishonest.
Harry, whereas he's come over, he didn't stay after the funeral, he didn't stay after the coronation. I think he's come because his father clearly asked him to come, but I don't see any sign they'll forgive.
That's what makes Lady C's fearless stance so explosive. Her calm challenge, "Let him sue me," didn't sound like arrogance, it sounded like a dare. She basically told him, "Go ahead and make this public." Her defiance has become a rallying cry among critics who are tired of seeing dissent shut down. Legal analysts say Harry might hesitate because defamation cases often backfire. They force the plaintiff to reveal private records, and in this situation, that could mean documents connected to those heavily speculated births. With Lady C and Tom Bauer standing firm and the public's curiosity hitting a fever pitch, a trial like that wouldn't just make headlines. It would dominate the global media cycle, and Buckingham Palace's quiet response only made things worse. Instead of backing Harry with a strong denial, they stuck to the same cautious line: "We don't engage in speculation." But behind palace walls, insiders say senior royals are uneasy. The monarchy survives on one sacred principle: legitimacy. Even faint whispers about lineage can damage that foundation faster than anyone realizes. And in this case, silence isn't cooling things down.
Harry is definitely delusional. He's always had tendencies to delusions. We need to cut him some slack with the possibility, as I have said before, that he might have been born, shall we say, handicapped. Certainly, he's no brain box. On the contrary, it doesn't help that he doesn't have a mind to be in with, and that he's out of the mind he doesn't have. But the impertinence, the arrogance, is truly beyond belief. Because really, what did that dowry offer constitute? Oh, it was meant to give the message that, I want to be wonderful. I don't want to upstage Pa or Big Willie. But I need you to know how important I am. So I will make the offer, as if Harry and Meghan's engagements are now going to set the agenda for the...
Amplifying the tension. One longtime royal historian even warned that doubts about royal bloodlines have destroyed dynasties before. If there's even a suggestion that Archie or Lilibet's standing could face questions, he said the fallout would be catastrophic. And in today's viral world, one spark can become a global inferno overnight. That's exactly what happened after Lady C and Bauer's broadcast. Within hours, hashtags demanding transparency were trending everywhere. Clips from their interviews flooded social media, racking up millions of views and setting off massive online debates. TikTok investigators and YouTubers started combing through old footage of Harry and Meghan frame by frame, analyzing, comparing, dissecting everything like a true crime mystery. Old baby bump videos resurfaced again, but this time, no one was laughing.
Was the people I looked for, because she did her very best to prevent her friends and the people she'd worked with.
Why else are you being sort of suspicious and secretive around labor and birth? And people theorized and claimed that the couple needed time to stage a story because Meghan didn't actually deliver the children.
Harry doesn't have the brains, and Meghan has the ability. Not enough brains to have figured out that being too clever by half is stupid by whole, but enough brains to think, well, I'm so clever, I can outsmart everybody. And anybody who gets to see what I'm about, sorry, I forgot, the hands have to flash. After all, she is a member of, well, isn't she the woman from La Mancha? Windmills everywhere. You notice she's gone quiet on Instagram for about a month now. There was a whole load of postings when she was pushing the narrative that
Scenes once dismissed as bad camera angles or wardrobe slips are now being studied in slow motion with captions like, "Was it all for show?" racking up millions of views. The internet isn't just gossiping anymore. It's investigating, demanding answers, and the blaze is spreading fast. And Bauer wasn't done. He widened the scope, claiming Harry and Meghan's polished image hides something much messier. A private world ruled by money struggles, mounting pressure, and an intense need to control every part of their public story. By this point, the whole situation had spiraled beyond control. What started as whispers about hidden records had morphed into a full-scale public inquisition. Lady C and Tom Bauer weren't backing down, and the more Harry tried to clamp down on the noise, the louder it got. His legal team was said to be exploring every possible option.
And embarrassment, or talking about her experiences on podcasts or things like that, or just posting a lot more pictures. It has drawn a lot of attention to the controversies surrounding her kids, her pregnancies, how the children came into the world, the whole thing. Everything she's done has only drawn more speculation and brought the controversies back up about how Meghan and Harry have handled all of this, as well as the rumors that perhaps they used a surrogate.
Harry, I said it before and I'm saying it again. Harry and Meghan's marriage is in big trouble. Yes, she reeled him back in when she needed him performing like a performing seal, and yes, he obliged. And yes, there was a pretense that everything was okay, and I'm sure she put on that Stan Getz record for Harry so that he would be convinced that the greatest pleasures in life are when you're blowing in the wind. Well, unless, of course, you're roasting chicken.
But even they knew that once something catches fire online, there's no easy way to put it out. Insiders say the tension inside Montecito hit a breaking point. Harry was reportedly furious, pacing and venting to close friends, convinced the media was orchestrating a campaign against his family. But others close to the situation claim it's not just the media. It's the vacuum of transparency that's fueling everything. People want answers, and silence only keeps the questions alive. Meanwhile, Lady C seemed to thrive under the spotlight. Calm, sharp, and unbothered, she started dropping even more breadcrumbs on her channel and in interviews, each one feeding a global audience already hooked on the mystery. Viewers described her tone as too confident to be bluffing. She spoke with the precision of someone who'd seen the evidence up close. and that confidence made her words hit harder than any tabloid headline ever could. Tom Bower, on the other hand, played it colder and more methodical. He spoke like a man piecing together a long-running investigation, emphasizing patterns, the secrecy, the contradictions, the timing. According to him, it's not about one mystery, it's about a consistent pattern of control. He said Harry and Meghan mastered the art of shaping public sympathy, releasing carefully curated information to maintain dominance over their image. But he also suggested that tactic no longer works, not in the age of receipts and viral analysis. And that's where things really shifted. What had once been dismissed as conspiracy now had mainstream traction. News panels were debating it. Columnists were cautiously weighing in. Even royal commentators who had previously avoided speculation started asking careful questions. The phrase, "where there's smoke, there's fire," started trending for a reason, because too many unanswered questions were piling up. Then came the digital storm. TikTok creators began timing the bump movements, comparing clips from different angles, arguing over whether what they were seeing matched the normal physical patterns of pregnancy. Reddit threads with thousands of comments analyzed screenshots side by side. Hashtags like #RoyalReceipts and #TruthAboutArchie began trending worldwide. Every clip was turned into a theory, every pause into a clue. And with every viral video, the pressure grew. Legal experts started warning that Harry might have boxed himself into a corner. If he sues Lady C or Bower, he risks opening his private life to forensic scrutiny in court. If he doesn't, people will assume the silence means guilt. Either move could backfire. One royal aide allegedly said off the record, he's caught between protecting his privacy and protecting his credibility, and he might lose both. Behind the palace gates, nerves were stretched thin. Senior courtiers reportedly urged restraint. A legal fight could drag the entire institution into another global spectacle.
Woman, no, I think the surprising thing at the end of the book, I realized how successful she'd been. Here was a woman who was nothing. I mean, born, broken family, the whole thing, an unknown actress, all the rest of it, becomes a global star, which is what she wanted.
That 2025 was going to be the year of the Markle sparkle. And maybe she would say in the last few weeks, as she's accepting a Humanitarian of the Year award, she might say, see, but for the most part, I didn't see that.
Harry loses his patience from time to time with Meghan. Remember some time ago I told you that he said he'd regretted ever having married her and that things were really bad between them, and then she reeled him back in? Well, as I've said before, and I say it again, when hunger comes in through the door, love goes out the window. And although I would not say that their marriage is definitively over at this point, Harry made it absolutely clear
They feared the ripple effects. Renewed scrutiny on past royal protocols, renewed calls for reform, renewed comparisons between the Sussexes and the core royal family. What was supposed to be a small dispute was now threatening to reignite old wounds across the monarchy. And Meghan? Observers noticed her complete disappearance from public events just as the controversy peaked. No appearances, no comments, not even staged paparazzi moments. Some say it was strategy. Step back, let the storm burn out. Others saw it as a sign of deeper cracks behind closed doors. Her silence was as loud as Harry's outrage. But the internet wasn't letting go. Every pause was interpreted, every absence dissected. Clips resurfaced of Meghan's interviews, particularly moments where she described her pregnancies, and they're now being replayed in slow motion, with audiences listening for inconsistencies in her tone. The comments are ruthless, some defending her, others insisting she's hiding something. By now, Lady C and Tom Bower had achieved something neither of them likely expected. They'd turned public speculation into a cultural obsession. Their names dominated headlines. Their interviews drove massive viewership, and their words had royal insiders in damage control mode. For once, the couple's tight PR bubble seemed to have sprung a leak that no amount of spin could fix. And yet, the most unsettling part is that none of this is proven. Every receipt, every claim, every theory remains in the gray zone. Enough to spark frenzy, but not enough for final answers. That ambiguity is exactly what keeps people hooked. The palace's decision to stay silent is only making it worse. Because in today's world, silence reads as confirmation to many. The irony is brutal. Harry left royal life to escape media intrusion, to live free from tabloids, to protect his family's privacy. But now, his own efforts to control the story might have triggered the very kind of exposure he feared most. If this ends up in court, the very documents he's trying to protect could become public record, turning whispers into history. And that's why observers say this moment feels different, because it's not just about gossip anymore. It's about perception, power, and legacy. If even a fraction of Lady C and Bauer's claims withstand scrutiny, the fallout could redefine how the public views Harry and Meghan forever. But if they're wrong, and the Sussex team finally brings solid proof, it could silence the critics in one sweep, though that window is closing fast. For now, the world is watching like it's the next royal drama series, except this one's real. Every move Harry makes is dissected, every silence is judged, and every word Lady C or Bauer says turns into another headline. Whether the truth ever comes out or not, the damage has already been done. The story's too big, too viral, and too tangled to ever fully disappear. Their Netflix shows and book contracts, according to Bauer, aren't about creative passion anymore. They're lifelines. He claims those deals are what keep the Sussex brand afloat. But now that their credibility is under intense scrutiny, even those safety nets could be at risk. They're cornered, Bauer said bluntly, and they know it. Every time a news story cracks through the surface, Harry and Meghan strike back, using threats and statements to shut down criticism. But this time, that tactic seems to be backfiring spectacularly. Instead of silencing the noise, Harry's legal threats have set the internet on fire. People aren't scared, they're intrigued. The conversation has exploded across platforms, with new videos, articles, and breakdowns appearing daily. Every warning he sends seems to only make Lady C and Tom Bauer louder. And Lady C? She looks completely unfazed. With decades of royal insight and a reputation for fearlessly calling out hypocrisy, she seems more confident than ever. She's hinted at medical timelines, private correspondence, and even first-hand witnesses. People who, she claims, were close to Meghan during her pregnancies. Now she's daring Harry to take her to court. Calm, composed, and smiling, she said, "If he wants court, fine. Show every document, every log, every record, let the truth come out." That quiet confidence is what makes her so dangerous to them. Lady C doesn't have a public image to defend. She's not a Hollywood figure chasing brand deals or streaming contracts. She has no sponsors to lose, no corporate team advising her what to say. That makes her unpredictable and fearless. And in a world built on controlled narratives and polished PR, that kind of defiance is pure chaos fuel. Now, the spotlight swings back to Harry. Royal watchers say he's never faced a tighter corner. If he drops the lawsuit, it'll look like he's hiding something. But if he goes through with it, the court could force open doors he's fought to keep closed, including potentially sensitive records connected to the questions Lady C and Bauer keep bringing up. It's a lose-lose situation either way. And the irony? The harder Harry tries to control the narrative, the more it spirals out of control. Every headline, every viral post, every social media clip adds another spark. What started as a PR headache has turned into a royal reckoning. Millions are watching, dissecting, and debating every move. Silence doesn't help him anymore. It just feeds the speculation. So what happens if this actually goes to court? Does Harry really risk opening the palace vault to defend a story that's already crumbling in the public eye? What receipts is Lady C holding so tightly? Is it really just gossip? Or is there more behind her confidence? These are the questions everyone's asking, and the palace's refusal to respond only turns up the pressure. Meanwhile, insiders say Buckingham Palace is quietly growing uneasy. Every headline linking royal lineage to controversy sends ripples through the institution. The monarchy's power depends on one thing above all else: legitimacy. Even whispers of uncertainty can cause lasting damage, and right now, those whispers are everywhere. Social media is treating this like a royal thriller. Creators are making hour-long breakdowns. Old videos are being re-examined. Theories are multiplying. And every time the palace stays silent, those theories gain momentum. It's a perfect storm of public fascination and official restraint, and it's not going away anytime soon. The irony runs deep. Harry left royal life to escape media intrusion and protect his family's privacy. Yet now, his own actions may drag him back into the exact spotlight he tried to flee. Only this time, it's far harsher. If this ends up in court, his family's private life could become global news again, dissected and analyzed like never before. And still, Lady C remains calm. Her "let him sue me" moment has already become iconic. A rallying cry for those who say too many people have been silenced by power and image control. It's not just gossip anymore, it's become a question of who owns the truth. If Harry pushes forward, this could become the biggest royal court showdown in decades. But if he backs down, it'll leave a permanent mark on his credibility. Either way, the story is too far gone to disappear quietly. The world is watching, the questions are louder than ever, and the pressure on all sides is boiling over. So what's next? Does Harry take the risk and face Lady C in court? Or does he retreat and let the rumors run unchecked? Because right now, this battle isn't just about reputation. It's about control, legacy, and who gets the final say in the story of the Sussexes. One thing's for sure, this isn't over. Far from it. So what do you think? Is this really about justice, or is it about keeping control of a story that's already spinning out of hand? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Hit like if you're still sipping this royal tea, and don't forget to subscribe and share for more royal drama breakdowns. See you on the next one.